I'd like to thank Guy and his colleagues for presenting this opportunity, this platform, and all of the suppliers for attending as well and your support. Thank you. Skyjack is part of a Linamar company. They were bought in 2002, and I'd like to introduce you today to our 3219. It's one of two machines in our compact family, the 15-footer and the 19-footer. Both of them have industry-leading capacities, respectively, of 600 pounds for the little brother and 550-pound platform capacity for this one. I'll start out, if I want to do drawers and things like that, I'll start at the base, just as Galen head. This also is a front-wheel drive, front-wheel steer machine. Pivot steer, it's pretty close to 90 degrees, so you've got very tight steering. It's also got the industry-leading GEW as far as that being the lightest machine. And you talk about having something that's an elevator class machine. The 19 is the lightest of all its competition in the market. We have swing-out drawers as well. They're adjustable, so as time goes on, you can adjust them to fit up or down. All of the Skyjack machines have color-coded and numbered wiring, and it's consistent through the whole family. So what we built 10 years ago and what might be number 15 wire might be orange, and it might control a certain function. It's consistent on the whole family of all scissors and booms. Very simple manifold. We've got a Hisper motor, and we've got a Haldex pump. Basically simple excuse me, manifolds and hydraulic tank, filter. Everything is very simple, very easy to get to, easily available components. Another hallmark of Skyjack is that we use an analog-based system with automotive-type relays that are easily found at local supply houses. It's very simple to troubleshoot, to maintain. It holds its value in the market over its lifetime. On the top here is our alarms, hour meter, circuit breakers, 15 amp breakers for the hot and the cold side. Over here is the emergency lowering knob. And I'll demonstrate that process, how we lower it. Over on this side is our battery tray as well. It's adjustable, automotive type latches on here. We have 4 220 amp hour US batteries on there. Our charger is on the tail end of the machine, and sorry about that. It's a universal charger as well. You can plug it into any voltage or any frequency worldwide, and it automatically adjusts to the power supply that you have. When I get in and turn the steering, as you can see, we use a white hydraulic motor as our hydraulic drive motors. But we also take and we shroud our motor in steel casing so that if you happen to hit an obstacle, you're fairly well protected there. We route all of our hoses up through there. We have a steer cylinder that's protected behind there. We also, up here in the front, we have a freewheeling valve. If you open that freewheeling valve, it bypasses your wheel motors with your hydraulic flow, which then enables you to release your brakes on the other end of it, which we'll demonstrate, so you can push or pull the machine in freewheeling mode. If you want to turn it around, please, Mike. I'm going to ask you to release the freewheeling valve. On the back end of our machine, we have the master power disconnect switch right here, which shuts off your power. It's also lockable. You can put a padlock on there on job sites to prevent people from using your machine. We have a double brake cylinder right here, so it is our parking brake. It does not stop the machine, but it merely, any incline that you can drive up, this parking brake will hold it on that incline. We've got a new control system right now, excuse me, so that we have a more global positioning of our components in the back. We have our key switch and our enable button on the back end of it, and our e-stop as well, which has a little LED light there you can see in the middle of it, indicating that you've got power to that. When you push it in, your red light goes. 110 of the platform is your plug-in right here. On the other side, the charger, as I mentioned, is right here in the pigtail for that. Our scissor stack, you want to break it up a little bit? Sure. Our scissor stack is a little bit different than some of the other folks in the industry, in that we use a stacked arm design with an enclosed tube and ears on there. We have a DU bushing in there and a plated pin, and we think the stacked design is better and gives us longer life over the lifetime of the machine. Our lift cylinder, the trunnion mounted lift cylinder, you can take it out by taking 2 bolts out of here, unscrewing this gland cap, and you can replace all the packing in there in the matter of about less than an hour. As far as field serviceability, it's simple, reliable, very robust, all the hallmarks of Skyjack products. This end of our lift cylinder, we've got a holding valve right here. It has a red knob on it. That's how we achieve our emergency lowering. If you undo this knob right here and pull on the red, oh, there we go. That's how we attain our emergency lowering. We think that it's more fail-safe than having a cable that's prone to not being used, and when you really need it, you pull it, and cables sometimes have a tendency to snap. We have pothole protection on any of our small electric machines. If our pothole protection does not fully deploy, it locks out the drive function of the machine. You can still go up and down, but say for example I put a 2x4 under here and it didn't come all the way down. That non-deployment of this pothole guard will deactivate the drive function of the machine until you come back down, and then this redeploys. So it's a safety feature that we think is well worth it.
Do you know how it measures whether it's there? Is it a proximity switch? Limits? Mechanical switch. Mechanical switch that has to be fully open.
I think closed.
It's going to be pushed in all the way. Yes. It's normally open, pushed in to close it. Yeah. So if the cable gets cut or whatever, it stays.
You asked about the swing down safety bar. Do you want to take it up a little bit more? That's so it's about 6 feet before you can, maybe 7 feet. There's what I've been breaking out. Our platform offers a 3-inch rollout deck extension. Our decks, as always, are steel checker plate. There are stops along the way, intermittent stops on the rollout deck extension, so that you can pin it in various levels of in or out.
I think just for the record, you said 3 inches, 3 feet, right?
Yes. I said 3 inches?
I think so.
It's 36 inches. Excuse me.
Since it's on video, I thought that would be good.
Thank you. You want to pull the box, Mike?
Sure.
We have a few different configurations of machines. If you want to have a half gate, we'll put a half gate on as an option, or a full gate as an option. We have options such as generators, the airline to the platform, all the things that everyone else has got. But essentially our controller, this is a new design controller for us, in that all of the wires and all of the switches and instruments here, when you pull this top off, are connected to that. So a big service hand can get in there and work on things very easily. We've removed the key from the upper control box and put it in the base. So we're changing over to make this more of a universal UCB for us, and it's got its advantages. We've got the battery charge indicator, the horn button right here, which in the past has been on the bottom of our control boxes, is now at the base where it's more likely to be heard when someone's up in the air operating. Your selector switch for drive or lift right here. Proportional controller for all your drive functions and for lift functions. E-stop button right here as well, with a little LED indicator in there so you can tell if you've got power or not. Your steering is your thumb steering on the top. Other than that, to address the questions, we've researched tires, and we find that this tire, it's got a little bit more rubber to it. It's the best performance tire that we've found for our machines. And our lanyard attachment points, we've got one at each corner of the platform and on the end of the deck extension. It's our policy to, as is fancy regulations, that you don't need it to have it on scissors, but if local ordinances at job sites dictate it, they're there to use. Did I miss anything?
I don't know if you missed anything. The control box, the new generation control box, if I have previous generation, well, if the keyed on it, can you interchange them?
Part of the UCB changes, we went to this wheel-in connector. The old ones had 10 pins.
Right.
They were a plastic one. This has got 16, so the answer is no.
No. And can you still attach that at the base?
Yeah, yeah. All Skyjacks have got the plug right here, the upper plug as well right down here, so you can isolate a problem. It's underneath this panel. You can isolate a problem if you have a function down here plugged in that you don't have plugged into this connector. It's isolated to the harness in the arm set, so you can troubleshoot it relatively easily.
So just pull that.
That panel comes out. This machine is made in Emmitsburg, Iowa. It's the compact series is made in Iowa, and it is powder coated, which is a relatively new. We've had it for about 16 months now, and it's a nice powder coat on this for the paint job. Are there any questions?
When did, I mean, I know this is not the, when did you guys first introduce the machine? 19, not this particular machine, but this model.
The SJIII?
Yeah.
Probably 90, 94, 1993.
And when did this particular revision, was it introduced?
I want to say around 2000. I'd have to go back, don't quote me on it, but I think around 2000 when we went to proportional. The old one was called an SJM for mini, and then we went to the SJIII, and that's when we went with proportional controls and potholes. So I'm wanting to say it's around 2000.
Are there besides the high-speed cutout, are there any other safety interlocks on the machine besides high-speed cutout?
Tilt switch.
Well, the tilt switch, right?
Right, and tilt switch locks out drive and lift.
Okay, and do you know what degree that is?
1.5 and 3.5.
1.5.
Side to side, 3.5 and 10.
Hey, Guelph, that's the, what do you know what yours is?
It's 1.5 and 3.
1.5 and 3. Okay. What? You already talked about options, service card. I mean, the gauge, so that's the standard gauge.
Yeah, the mid chain is standard, but for example, on our Euro package, we put half or whole gates on as a standard spec. You can get it as an option in North America. It prevents you from banging your head on the top.
You talked about the diamond plate there.
Checker plate steel deck on all scissors. Safety placards, manuals, the black box and the bug board up here are for all the safety displays. You've also got the capacity of the machine in two places here. One on the very front of the deck extension and one on the very back of the machine when you're getting in. So you've got your 2 occupants and your platform capacity.
Capacity on the extension deck?
250. 300 on the main, 250.
I meant to ask Gail this question. What I mean, besides the overall philosophy of whatever your product is designed to be, I mean, what are the 3 most important features about this product?
Robustness, simplicity, ease of maintenance.
Any other questions from anybody?
Do you forecast inside?
No.
Okay. Good question.
Slides off the forks.
Say it again, Mike?
Slides off the forks.
It's not people do it. It's not recommended.
I think there's nothing to keep it from going.
Nothing to capture.
Yeah.
There is not so much. Well, it is on this side. There's a block there that if you used to fork it, you could possibly arc out the tops of the batteries on the bottom of the forklift too.
Right.
So that the stops there now prevent that, but it's certainly from a safety standpoint, there's nothing to hold it in place while you're plugging it. So we do not recommend it.
Grease points, just the 2 on the.
There's four grease points on this machine, I believe. On the steering tie rod and on the brakes right here, there's little red caps. 1 grease herd on each of the blocks that hold the parking brakes.
And your drive braking is on the back, front? How do you
This is through the
parking
hydraulic
brake?
system.
Yeah, the park brake in the rear, hydraulic dynamic, the drive motors, obviously, that's a closed center spool on the drive wheels. So it's dynamic.
What we didn't do is, maybe just to demonstrate how easy it is. I'm going to release the freewheeling valve right up here. It's just a little valve. You turn the knob and it opens up the freewheeling and bypasses the wheel motors. If Mike would go back, you accomplish it with a wrench, and you can take a wrench or a screwdriver and release your brakes on here, but just for sake of quickness and simplicity, I'm going to hit the drive function. The brakes will release if you can flip them up. Now, you can push or pull the machine, and it's that easy to do it. Also, if you hit a steer function, you can steer the machine without engaging the braking system. But once you hit forward or reverse, it will then engage your brakes again. So it's a very simple, easy to work now.
Simple, but it basically takes two people to release the brakes, or?
No, I asked Mike to do that because I didn't have a screwdriver.
Oh, okay, so you don't have to operate the drive, you can just break it down.
Correct. I just did it for the ease of simplicity in the demo. One person.
Question?
Directional sensing, do you have this machine, or is that just your phone?
It's only in boots. Only things that rotate, the directional sensing.
Okay, gotcha.
But thanks for asking. Another
I didn't know if
Skyjack
the control
exclusive.
box was turned around, or,
No.
that type of thing.
Maybe next year.
Without an engineer.
Okay?
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.